Okay, we should be here with audio and bugs, maybe. See how well this works. Tonight, broadcasting the planet Venus, this time through the telescope. So basically, hey, Stuart, Belgium, Buffalo, New York, San Francisco area, Cyprus. Nice. Look at this. This is great. This is global. Can you guys hear me? Please give me. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ernie. You know exactly what I was going to ask. So basically, this is the only filter I've got is infrared. And the standard color filters. So what we're looking at here is Venus in infrared, and I just quickly got stuff set up, so I don't think we'll be able to see any cloud stuff. For one, it's quite low, obviously for me, and I'm hoping I'm not going to get blocked by trees, but this is still the same camera I used last time. It's the ASI 290mm camera, I haven't really even adjusted focus from the last time I did a live stream, so this is still left over from the moon. I'm going to try and get this going. You can see, it's obviously just after sunset, just barely, not even dark yet. And, so I'm just trying to get this going. If you have any questions or want to, talk about anything, just let me know. And, we'll, in the comments there, obviously, or just do it in the comments. I was going to say you could tweet at me, but that's just a lot of extra work that I can't do it all at the same time. So, feel free, please retweet. Check my Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to screenshot the thing on Instagram and retweet my tweet so that people know what's going on. This won't be able to go on for too long. Venus obviously sets pretty quickly. So anyway, I'm going to start adjusting focus just to see if I can dial it in at all, or if it's going to get worse. Okay, that's worse. I'm going to go the other way. It's so low and it's so soon after sunset. And this is a mirrored telescope, so there's a lot of heat going on from the Earth, and as well as, through my scope. So there's only so much I'll be able to do, but it's actually kind of looking okay. You can really see how crazy the atmosphere goes, though. Right now, we can see the phase, just like the moon, which is very, very cool. It's actually going to get brighter and brighter as time goes on. I'm going to make it bigger, don't worry. I'm going to do that now, actually. So, let's see, that should be quite a bit bigger. Working on two computers here at the same time. It was not pink. It was just called the pink moon. It's just the name that they gave the first supermoon of the year, or not first, the biggest supermoon of the year. Whatever. So the moon last week, the full moon last week, was not pink at all. Same color. Hello from Canada. Nice. What's up, USA? Hi. We got people from all over the globe. This is great. This is cool. So this is Venus. It's a little bit bigger now. I could zoom in a little bit more, but it'd just be even fuzzier. So it's small. It's really far away. It's, close to the sun compared to us. It's just, there's not a lot of detail on Venus to see. The cloud layers are very difficult to see if you don't have an ultraviolet filter. I unfortunately do not have an ultraviolet filter, but this is infrared, so it does a little bit to cut through some stuff, but there's so much going on in the atmosphere right now. It's rough. Hey, Matthew Newman, how you doing? Yes, so the scope setup, someone asked, they want me to share the scope setup. Yeah, I can share that with you just now. Let me get the gain right. I'm actually going to do a huge video capture of 10,000 frames. And just see if I can get some sort of decent image out of this mess that is the atmosphere at the moment. Drop that gain down a little bit. I will let you know. I'm not using an ADC. I've heard good things about the ZWO ADC. I'd love to try one, but I've got a mono camera, so it may or may not do a whole lot for me. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to dial in focus a little bit more if I can. It's just kind of all over the place right now. Let's just see. Let's just take about 10,000 frames. I'm going to shoot 10,000 frames in infrared and just see what happens. Here. See if I can get something decent. It's going to be small, it's going to be tiny, but that's okay. So this is a 12-inch Ritchie Chrétien telescope. So it's got a 12-inch mirror on the back. The camera is hanging off the back of the telescope. You can't really see, but the camera hangs off the back of the telescope. The light comes in the front, bounces off the back, bounces off a tiny mirror in the front, and then back into the camera. So it's 2,304 millimeters of focal length. And I'm using a ZWO ASI 290mm camera. Okay, so sorry about the beep there. I just took 10,000 frames of video that I'm going to try and turn into an image. It's getting low. I don't know how much more we'll be able to do this, but I'm going to give it a try. Let's see, do we have any other questions? Nothing. Yes, I did record the full moon last week. The pink full moon was not pink, like I said before, but check my YouTube channel on the live stream. We did a 2-hour live stream of the super moon last week. Myself and David Dickinson he's an author and enthusiast and smart guy, knows more about the moon than I do. So yeah, go check it out if you want to. I'd skip forward by about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so until we start actually talking, because then it's a little more exciting. Let's see if we can get this any tighter. Venus is small, and I'm not even bothering to use a Barlow lens at this point because it'd just be blurry. There's so much atmospheric issues right now. I'm just messing with the focus some more. Hello from California. You're not the only one from California. Hope everyone is safe and staying that way right now. Well, the world is currently quite weird. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Definitely check it out. Okay, I'm going to do another 10,000 frames just because I can. Let's do it. Okay, so the beep that you heard there is what happens when I start recording. So, hello from the UK. Hey there. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, everybody must stay safe, stay home, watch these live streams, you know? I guess that's kind of why I'm doing this. I haven't done this for quite a long time. I haven't done any live streaming for a while, and, you know, I'm also at home. We're under a what is now a 5-week lockdown here in South Africa. We can't leave our house except for groceries or medical care, and so I'm just hanging out and doing my part and sharing stuff with everyone here. Hopefully I'll be live again later. If the clouds stay away, hopefully I'll be live again later to do a little bit of the moon. In a few hours from now, looks like it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 hours from now before I do that, if I don't fall asleep. So, I'm getting old these days. Dial back the gain a little bit. Maybe a little higher. Yeah. So, hey, alright, the Netherlands. Hello, hello, hello. This is cool. I love it. I love it. This is like global reach here. Like I said, check me out on Twitter. I'm the Astro Shake on Twitter. Share this live stream, We'll be going for, looking at how low Venus is right now. We'll probably go for another, hopefully half hour. I can't promise anything with this though, but we will see. See how the atmosphere goes. See if I can dial in focus and do another 10,000 frames. It's just going to get worse the lower it gets, but it's okay. Yeah, it seems about the best I'm going to get. Given the Venus is tough. You need a really good clean atmosphere, which everybody being on lockdown is actually helping, just because there's less pollution in the air here. I live in Johannesburg, so we normally have it's a lot of air pollution, dirty atmosphere, a lot going on. So, oh, excellent. Thank you for sharing. That's great. We'll see if we can get some people to check out Venus and Venus Live. Let's see, I'm going to try. So the darker it gets, the lower I can put the gain on the camera, because it just gets brighter and brighter against the sky. So I'm going to take another 10,000 frames. Seems to be almost getting a little bit better here, which is nice. So make sure it's centered nicely. Okay. Keep that going. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 10,000 frames of video here. I'm going to record that as raw as I can with this camera. It's currently capturing at 200 frames per second, which is great, and you can see on the screen there how big the file is getting. I think these files are quite large. This is going to be about 5 gigabytes by the time it's done, for one video file. That's very small. Usually if I capture the full resolution of the camera, it's about 8 gigabytes. So what you really do is you want to crop, and then I'll take that video into a program called Auto Stackers, where I'll stack all the frames and get the sharpest ones. The software will actually find the sharpest frames for me, throw away all the ones that are not sharp, and then it will layer those on top of each other and average out all the pixels so that it gets rid of noise, and it also make sure we get all the detail we possibly can, because by averaging out all the detail, we get rid of the stuff that's not detail. So that's basically what we're doing, is increasing the signal to noise ratio of the final image. And then it overlays them on top of each other, spits out a final image, and then you have a photo based on what you've been shooting video of. It seems to be getting a little bit better even. So I'm going to go ahead and brighter so I can actually keep dropping the gain, which is really good. You'd be surprised, as fuzzy as this looks on the video frames, you can actually create a pretty good image from this. So I'm going to do another 10,000 frames. And see what happens. So like I said, anybody watching, feel free to ask questions. I'll tell you anything that I can accurately tell you. Yeah, so we're just about a little over 5 gigabytes per 10,000 frames in infrared. Infrared is always quite a bit better also. When it comes to the way it looks through the atmosphere, it can kind of cut through the atmospheric turbulence, but this is just, it's rough. I mean, it's getting close to the horizon. Play with the focus some more and see if I can get it a little bit better, but it's just gonna get worse the lower we get. Plus it's getting close to my neighbor's roof, so I'm shooting through the heat convection. It's actually convection, is that the right word? The heat currents coming off my neighbor's tile roof. So yes, it's fire capture. Yes. Sorry about if it's buffering. Sorry about that. Not much I can do. I mean, I've got my internet as good as I can right now, so. Hopefully that my internet comes back and does a little bit better. So I apologize if you guys are getting buffering. And let me know. I mean, are you guys seeing a lot of buffering? Well, this is the phase of Venus, so let's see. I don't know what Venus is going to be doing soon. So it's going to get more and more crescent until June. So what's happening is, yes, Venus is actually going to get smaller. It's going to get more phased, less. It's going to get more of a crescent until June, when it's going to be super, super thin. And then the sunlit side is going to be completely away from Earth. So, okay, cool. So it looks like the buffering might be gone, I hope. So yes, Ernie, you asked, am I using fire capture? Yes, I'm using fire capture with the camera, and I'm going to turn up the gain a little now. I'm using fire capture, And I'm also using, someone else asked what streaming software I'm using. I'm currently using something called OBS. Highly recommend it. I'm relatively new to this kind of live stream. I used to use, the YouTube Live software directly, but now I'm using, I've actually got two computers. I've got one computer that's running the telescope and the camera, and then I'm using TeamViewer to share the screen to my streaming computer, which is running OBS and TeamViewer, and then I'm capturing the screen there and piping it over to YouTube using OBS. So. Does that look? It almost looks like it's getting better. So you hear that motorcycle in the background. That might be a little bit illegal right now. I'm a little bit disappointed in the neighborhood because all this virus stuff hasn't hit us hard yet here in South Africa, and it's just a matter of time. That's what I think, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to do my part. Okay. I'm going to take another... Oh, it's getting bad now. Yes, that is horrible. Ugh. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think OBS is the standard. A lot of people are just using it for, especially, for the amateur streaming, I even know a few professionals that use it, so definitely check it out. And it's free, so. I believe YouTube might have a stake in OBS as well. So, let's see. This is just going to get worse, but we're going to keep doing it. I do not know. I honestly, I don't consume a whole lot of YouTube content. I don't have the time. I spend quite a bit of my time creating and working and everything, so I don't spend a lot of time watching other people's YouTube channels. I just really don't have the time most of the time. I mean, doing this kind of stuff takes up a lot of my time already, so I do not know. I'd love to have the 14-inch Celestron, though. I'm looking at, that particular telescope for planetary and lunar is incredible. It's the same one Christopher Goh uses, or at least he used to. It's the same telescope that Damien Peach uses from his home, I believe, or used to. So it's one of those industry standard type of things. How good is this microphone? Can you guys hear the crickets? Every time I want to start shooting again, I get this pipe of heat. Oops. Cool, somebody on Twitter says thank you from the Netherlands, thanks from Canada. Someone's excited about something. Oh, this is cool. I'm just glad. I'm glad that I can share the views when I can. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of socialing there. Yeah, you can see it's getting a little bit more wavery. Let's zoom in a lot more, just for fun. This is going to be interesting. This is really going to show you how wavery this gets. Yeah. Okay, that's big. I mean, it's blurry. It's shaky. This is our atmosphere at work. It's like when you look you know, if you look into water, you look at something through water. That's basically what we are looking at. Is we're looking at something millions and millions and millions of kilometers away, through only the Earth's atmosphere, and that's enough to make it just waver like crazy. Now that I'm really zoomed in, I'm going to see what happens. I might be shooting through trees. No, I'm not. Okay. Or there could be some light clouds over there. That's why it's getting dim again. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see what I can do. Hopefully I'm not shooting through the neighbor's trees, otherwise I'm going to have to end this. Actually, it's my tree, not the neighbor's tree. It's my tree that's near the neighbor's roof. Let's check this out a little. We can beat the trees, can't we? Yeah. Finding focus is one of the hardest things. Yeah, I know, you see that, don't you, Stuart? This telescope is almost... I'm looking through so much atmosphere. I'm looking through, like, a lot. I'm surprised we even see a shape at this point, so... I guess that's one of the reasons I'm keeping it going. Like, why not? If we can still see the shape of Venus, the phase, then let's do it. Okay, so someone asked in the comments, why do we see this shape? An oval shape. It depends on when, because the phase of Venus is going to change throughout its orbit. It's going to get more and more crescent until June, like I said a little bit earlier, and sometimes you look at Venus and it's going to be, when it's furthest away from us, when it's on the other side of the sun from us, it's actually going to be more round, so you'll get more of the oval shape then. But the thing is, it's moving now in between the Earth and the sun, and it's going to get, as it gets closer to the Earth and the sun, or rather closer to the Earth and in between us and the sun, it's going to get more and more of a crescent shape. So that's why the shapes are different throughout the year, throughout its orbit. So yeah, you can see. I wonder how well you can see the telescope right now. Yeah. So you can see my telescope is almost, it's almost horizontal, which means we're killing it here. Right now, I am using a motorized mount, so I'm not tracking it by hand, but the motor on the telescope is tracking it, and I'm just making small corrections with this. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is the hand controller for the telescope. Let's see, I'll make sure you can see it. So this is the hand controller for the telescope. I'm making small corrections with that hand controller when it moves out, because if I had perfect polar alignment, it would actually not need hardly any corrections, if any, but because I'm pretty lazy and I didn't bother doing even a normal polar line, this is all just eyeballing it, looking, at the sky and trying to make sure the telescope is aligned. I have to make some corrections here and there. It's getting pretty low. Finding focus is rough. It's going to be almost impossible soon. Somebody asked earlier about an ADC. What an ADC is. It's a small little tool with some lenses on it that you put in front of your camera. It stands for atmospheric dispersion corrector, I believe. And what that does is it will align the different color channels of the camera. It'll align the color channels because they all come through, that water in a little bit different way. They refract through the water of the atmosphere, just the atmosphere itself, all the stuff. And so what it does is it corrects for those color cameras. So ADCs are best used on color cameras, but I have seen a lot of examples of ADCs that work well with monochrome cameras as well. So I'd actually be interested in giving one a try someday, just because we've got a lot of atmosphere to go through, especially here in Josie. And if I can help it, then why not? Yeah, this is this polar alignment, is eyeball. I mean, this is not even. I didn't even polar align. I just looked where I know I looked at where I know the celestial pole is, and eyeballed it and corrected it a little bit after the first night, and I've left the mount outside for a few days now. So. This particular telescope is 2,304 millimeters of focal length. So it's long. It's a huge lens. It's very big. And if I were to put what's called a Barlow, or what I've got as a PowerMate by TeleVue, it can double that. And actually, I've got a 2.5x Barlow lens PowerMate that will increase the focal length by 2.5 times, so I can go to around 5,760 millimeters, if I remember right. Doing the math in my head, I forgot, but anyway, it's really, really long, and I hardly ever use it because the seeing is almost never good enough for me to use. Oh, from Saudi Arabia, we've got everyone, the whole planet here. This is rad. Well, you're seeing the detail on Venus right now. This is 2,300 millimeters. It always depends on your camera. It's not always your focal length. The smaller the pixels on your camera, and the higher the quality optics you've got on your telescope, the better you're gonna get. The other thing you need to think about is you do not require 2,304 millimeters. I've seen people use this same camera on, actually, they've used it on, say, 1,000 millimeter or so focal length, but they're usually using a Barlow lens, which doubles that, so it's still around 2,000. So I would say, around 2,000. You'll be able to get that, but you can get a shape with a lot less focal length as well. So. Yeah, well, I can't do much about that red color flickering. Sorry about that. I wish I could. I'm not sure why it's happening, to be honest. It must be TeamViewer giving me a little bit of weirdness. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll try and figure that out next time. Some of the Twitter comments I'm getting are funny. I recommend checking them out. Hello from the Philippines. Hello. I'm gonna have to end this sometime. Yeah, this must be TeamViewer giving me a little bit of issues. Sorry about that red flicker. Must have had some cloud, because look at this get brighter all of a sudden. There we go. I had to dial back the gain just a little bit. Let's see, it is just about 7 o'clock our time, which means that the whole neighborhood here have got their vuvuzelas out. People are whistling, people are yelling right now. They are doing that to thank all the healthcare workers around the world and around here who are helping with the virus and everything. So I'm gonna join in right now, just for a few seconds, okay? Woo! Woohoo! There we go. That's what I've got on YouTube Live, because I don't care. I don't care if I'm a psycho for doing that, because, I mean, seriously, I'm stuck in my house, and everybody out there is doing stuff that I can't do, helping people. So this is a 12-inch telescope. You're welcome, Stu. I know you're a doctor, so everybody thank Dr. Stu there. That's an order, okay? I'm not asking. Thank you, Stu. Because this is rough. This is a rough time. I mean, the whole neighborhood is still going. The whole neighborhood is still going. Awesome. How long have we been going? This is pretty long. Yeah. I wonder if I can change that color. I'm gonna do some messing around here. What is this? What's this? Settings, display. Oh, that's not what I want to see. I'm gonna try and change this. Preview. No. Sorry. Night mode. Ooh, change color. I can make it black. I bet I can change it. Yeah. I'm gonna do that, so when it flickers it'll just be black. Or it'll be gray. No, I wanna make it black. Okay. Yeah, I just want black. How do we do that? There. Well, gray is what we got right now. We'll change that for the next time. There's your. Try and get rid of this this red flicker. Yo, we're getting close to losing it now. You guys hear this? You hear this vuvuzela? Can you hear that? There, you had to hear that one. People are getting wild. This is insane. This is great. If we can do one thing, it's just stay home and watch space while the people like Stu are out there in harm's way. I mean, I've got a friend who's a doctor in New York City, and to be honest, it scares the crap out of me that, my friend is in New York City. I've got people I know in Iowa who are doctors and working in the medical field, people I work with whose spouses are healthcare workers, and I'm just hoping that they're taken care of. So, stay home and watch these live streams, I guess, right? That's crazy that we're seeing through this atmosphere. And we're hearing vuvuzelas all at the same time. How cool is that? Does anybody have any space questions? Or astrophotography questions? Because I'm not really qualified to answer questions about space. I'm not an astronomer. I'm not a professional astronomer by any means. How about that one? I love it. That's amazing. Woo! That's awesome. I need to get a vuvuzela for next time. Wow, that's amazing. So at this point, yeah, that's coming from about 2 houses away from me right now. This is awesome. I live in a cul-de-sac. It sounds like the cul-de-sac is going crazy right now. That's awesome. I think the dogs are even getting into it. I wish I could make my dog howl on command. That'd be perfect. There we go. There's an air horn. Oh. I did capture some video, yeah, while it was still a little bit higher, Stu. I took about 3 captures of 10,000 frames each. The dogs are going. Let's see if we hear any more. I'm actually super proud of humans right now for doing that. So yeah, I took 3 10,000 frame captures earlier when it was a little higher and not so crazy wobbly. And I wonder if it's because, let's try and do this. I'm going to reduce the frames per second of the preview down to half of what it was. And see if that gets rid of that flicker, because that's possible, that's what's going on. So what I do is I bring the video into auto stackers and then I'll take, and I'm pretty lazy about it now, because if I just want to get something out there to share, image out there to share, what I'll do is I will stack the video in AutoStacker. I'll take the the sharpened output, about 50% sharpened, 50% raw frames, output from AutoStacker, and I'll take it onto my phone and I'll use Snapseed. Just a quick, just to get it out there, quick. It's good enough to share on social media, just to show the shapes and everything. So if something needs a little more editing, if it needs a lot more sharpening, what I'll do is I'll bring it into PixInsight, and I'll use PixInsight to do the sharpening and everything. So wavelets, a lot of curves. Actually, I use curves quite a bit, just to try and get everything nailed down. So how about that? We had a live thank you for the healthcare workers from my neighborhood in South Africa. That's pretty cool. Wow, this is getting bad. Look at this. Oh, jeez. I mean, we are right over my neighbor's house right now, over the tile roof, so there's tons of heat coming off of it. We're just watching. We're watching Venus through literally like heat waves. It's like a mirage, when you see a mirage down the road. This is what you see in UFO sightings. Unknown to me, yes, as in unknown flying objects that I didn't know what they were, but then, they're just satellites and stuff. So no, I've never seen aliens. I've never seen anything that looked like aliens. The craziest thing that's ever happened to me, though, is we were out in the desert, in the Karoo Desert, and on this farm in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden it felt like headlights got turned on, and turns out it was just one of the brightest meteors I've ever seen. It literally lit up the landscape. It felt like car headlights. It was crazy. Scared the crap out of me. And so that was probably the craziest thing. Like, it literally made me jump. So I'm still seeing that flicker, so maybe it's not that. Not the frame rate, but let's see what I can do. I apologize about that. I'll continue to try and streamline this process so we can get better and better. Guaranteed, if I didn't have to use TeamViewer, this would be better, but I have limitations. The computer that I use to do video capture on is actually a MacBook, an old MacBook that I have Windows installed so that I can use the camera. The camera doesn't work well with Mac, so yeah, I mean, there's Venus right there. Whew. I can't get it any better. I've been trying to focus, and it's just jumping so much because of the atmosphere. This is as good as I can get it right now. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to call it quits here soon, so I'm going to go ahead. Wow, was it that bad for a while? Huh. Okay, I'm going to have to call it quits soon. You saw a weather balloon, so it burst through the telescope. No way. Oh, that's cool, man. How rad is that? That's awesome, Ernie. That's so cool. I mean, the random stuff, if you're out enough, you're going to see all kinds of cool stuff, but it's not going to be UFOs, okay? This is getting bad. This is getting almost not worth looking at, so I'm going to go ahead and close up shop for now. Go and stack this data that I captured. And I'll share that on Twitter and on Instagram. If it's any good, if it turned out sort of good, we'll see. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good evening and day, wherever you are in the world. Day, evening, morning, afternoon. For me it's evening, it's dark obviously. Hopefully I'll be back later. And we might check out the moon. Not sure. We'll have to see if the weather cooperates or if I fall asleep. So enjoy. All right. Goodbye, everyone.